Welcome. I have really looked forward to today. Even though I would have loved for all of us to be together at a physical GLC, it's still great to be here in a virtual fashion and over the next couple of days celebrate our first GLC since 2019. This will be a time to engage, discuss, collaborate, but also challenge each other in how we develop this great company even further, moving forward as one. But let me start with a promise. This is not going to be a summit where we will be leaving with a lot of new operating priorities, new strategic changes, organizational redesigns. No, we have enough of that. You're not going to go home to your hardworking colleagues with a new list of priorities for them to work on. We have enough on our plates. We need to get that execution right, and we need to focus on doing that. We set out a course 6 months ago, and we need to focus on executing on that. This will also not be a summit where I and the rest of the EGM will bombard you on lessons on how you need to do your job. No, this will be a couple of days of candid and trustful discussions, peer-to-peer, on how we do and how we perform, and also, most importantly, the all-important why, what, and how of ISS. But let me take you back to September last year, when I joined as a new CEO. I was excited, I was curious, and I was also incredibly respectful for the amazing heritage and legacy of this firm. But I have to be honest that I was also worried about the state of the union. Worried because I came into a company in the middle of a pandemic that had hurt ISS to the core. We were still reeling from a malware attack, we had a weakened debt position, and we had certain contracts and countries that were struggling and were causing us significant financial losses. I wondered what culture and I wondered what energy I would be meeting. I have to say I was met by a company full of pride and passion, a company that was truly customer-centric and where there was a profound respect for work. Work that matters. I mean real work. I mean work where you shower after the job, not before the job. And I mean work that matters for customers, for patients, for passengers, and for end users. Work that changes, work that progresses, and work that solidifies societies. And that resonates deeply with me. It resonates deeply with me because ever since I was 13 and I had my first job at a warehouse, I've been working. I've been working as a waiter, a dishwasher, and I spent my high school years as a cleaner. Much has changed since then, but no one can take away my deep respect and passion for hard and honest work. And that passion, I saw that here. I saw passion, I saw people working with commitment, and I saw dedication. And I saw fire in their eyes. It was apparent from day one that this is a company where people just don't do what they are told to do. No, they do what needs to be done. No matter the obstacle and the headwind, they get it done. And they take personal ownership. When I look at the face of pandemic and cyber attack and operational issues that people were looking at last year, they delivered above and beyond for our clients. And not just for our clients, for our colleagues, and they did it with pride. And I saw unity. ISS is a people company. We care for each other, we look out for each other, and in the end, we step up for each other. Put together, when I joined, I felt like I was coming home. And why do I say coming home? Let me take a moment to share a deeply personal experience from my own past. I grew up in a provincial town called OneISS here in Denmark. My mother was a teacher. My father was a manager of an industrial insulation company. He had worked his way up from the building site into a position of leadership. You've probably heard of asbestos, a very popular building product in the 60s and the 70s that later turned out to be cancerous. My father and his colleagues worked with asbestos, and in the end, cancer caught up with a number of them. I will never forget as a child when my father's colleagues and their families came to visit, how he tried to help them. And I will never forget watching grown men cry in our living room. That experience, my father doing everything that was humanly possible to help his colleagues, his employees and their families, that has made a lasting mark on me. As a boy, as a man, and as a leader. That is why many of you know I talk of a company being like a family. And I mean that very profound. A family where we look after each other. And as a leader, and we are all leaders, your responsibility goes way beyond your daily P&L or your legal responsibilities. You need to care. It's about people, and it's about doing what is right. And it's about us as a management team making sure that we hand over this great institution in an even better shape for all stakeholders the day we exit the company. And therefore, I felt a kinship when I joined ISS. A kinship because I see the same values, the same commitment and dedication, and I see the same unity. Our response to the pandemic has shown exactly that. We've seen how 400,000 placemakers has actually made the world work better. And it's been an amazing experience on a daily basis to watch that performance. The most recent example is our 50,000 colleagues in India. You all know that the pandemic has crippled the healthcare system. Millions are infected, and many do not even have access to basic care in this situation. It's heartbreaking, and I know we all feel the same way. But our Indian colleagues have stepped up in an astonishing way, even equipping our own interim ambulances to transport our colleagues and transport their families and our clients. We've stepped up in terms of PPE, medicine, and the all vital at the moment, oxygen. We don't do this because of a legal responsibility. We don't do this because of a business case. We do it because it's the right thing to do. This company, we take care of our people. We act as a family. This is our legacy. And the legacy we build in those decisive moments will shape the future of this company. India is just one of countless examples. Throughout the last year, in thousands of situations, you and your colleagues have stepped up. We've stepped up for our placemakers, for our customers, and for society. So, where are we now? You know that I like to talk about the two swim lanes. The first one being our turnaround. The turnaround around our 4 hotspots, around our debt position, and around getting us through a nice passage through COVID-19. The second swim lane being around how do we build the ISS of the future. That's executing on OneISS. And we are progressing well. We are managing both swim lanes well, and we are gradually turning a corner on the first part of the execution. There's still a lot of hard work in front of us. Let's not kid ourselves. But let's also acknowledge that we're seeing the first signs that our great efforts are showing tangible results. And I want to thank you for that. Because it's important that we also celebrate the victories on the journey and not just celebrate the end destination. We've all pulled together as a firm over the last year. The energy, the positivism, the dedication, and the momentum, what I usually refer to as the ISS heartbeat, has grown stronger and stronger during the last year. When I joined 9 months ago, I saw a firm that had a lot of dedication and hard work. People were passionate, but they were also frustrated. They were frustrated because their efforts were falling short because of barriers and roadblocks impeding their execution. We also had cases of insufficient commercial discipline. And at the same time, we had an organization that was not set up for the high complexity we sometimes dealt with. That meant we had operating model flaws. In many ways, we were frankly not realizing our full potential. And we haven't made it easy for ourselves. And we haven't made it easy for our 400,000 placemakers. And they deserve better. Thankfully, things are getting better. We are on track in terms of our financial performance, and we are executing well on the December plan for OneISS. But let me double-click on that execution. What was it we said back in December? We said that we would strengthen our commercial capabilities, and we have done just that. We have invested significantly in adding commercial capabilities across the company, including new global segment leads. Some of you are in the meeting today, and I welcome you. Our new enhanced bid to operations process will improve our risk management, and it will drive better sustainable commercial results. Secondly, we set out to strengthen our digital and tech capabilities, and we are doing just that. Today is the 1st of June, and this is the day where Markus Sondheimer, our new CIDO, joins, together with other colleagues coming in on top of our already strong organization. In addition, we are accelerating our ISS hub rollout, and we are investing heavily in our infrastructure. Thirdly, we said that we would set out to improve and align our operating model, and we are doing just that. Many of you have spent the last months in terms of our new organizational footprint, our blueprints in the countries and in the functions, aligning our operating model, and at the same time, we've set up operations performance. Operations performance will be a key function for ISS going forward, and I have great expectations for operations performance. At the same time, we are working hard on improving our core product portfolio. As we exit the pandemic, we need to be incredibly sharp. Fourthly, we set out to repair our balance sheet, and we are doing just that. In the last 3 quarters, we have delivered better cash flow than expected, and that's due to the hard structural work of many of you behind the screens. Thank you for that. And we will continue that structured focus as we go along. On top of that, our disposal process is ahead of plan. Again, it gives us another level of investments for the coming years by freeing up balance sheet. And finally, we set out to strengthen our global leadership team with new expertise and critical capabilities, and we have done just that. Many of you at this summit are new to ISS. This is your first GLC, and I welcome you. And by the way, it's also my first GLC. So we are progressing well, but our work is not done. There's still much ahead of us, and there will be setbacks. I think you know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. A good start can easily be destroyed by complacency. I will not allow that to happen, and I know that you will not allow that to happen. Complacency is the biggest risk now that we've actually started well on our execution. So let's keep the focus. Don't let your guard down. Keep focusing on the execution in front of you, and we will succeed. Today we kick off the GLC 2021, and it's about strategy and direction, but it's also about how we execute and how we lead. But most importantly, it's around unity. What makes ISS unique as a purpose and a people company is our commitment to our legacy, and it's our commitment to our heritage. At our core, we are a global family where we look after each other, and we have a profound respect for the impact we have on the societies we operate in. And we focus on generating sustainable results over time. There is no greater power than when 400,000 dedicated placemakers work in unison to make the world work better. But that's also the only way we achieve our purpose of connecting people and places to make the world work better. But to fulfill our promise and to fulfill that purpose, we must bring value to our customers. Our value proposition is to deliver placemaking solutions that contribute to better business performance and make life more easy, more productive, and more enjoyable, delivered to high standards by people who care. That's the promise to all of the customer segments that we have decided to serve. And that is the benchmark that we will be measured against as a team. That's the value proposition. I call it the battlefield of our choosing. That is the battlefield we've decided, and we will be second to none. I guarantee you that. It's from winning bids and transitioning. It's for the operational performance of those bids and the ongoing account development on site. But we also face a moving target because the world is changing. Things are not standing still because we wanted to, and therefore we need to constantly solve for tomorrow instead of solving for today. If we want to be an industry leader, that has to be the attitude of all of us. Therefore, it's around making sure that our value proposition is ready, it's relevant for the future of work and the workplace of tomorrow. But to deliver on a value proposition and enable our purpose, there's no way that we do that without organizing, operating, and working as OneISS. The hard truth is, if we operate siloed and isolated, we will not be here for the next 120 years as an ISS. Our winning formula is rooted in the combined strength of the franchise, the global synergies, and the OneISS model. The sooner we recognize that and the sooner we deliver on that, we will get that muscle. It's in our ability to get all of our 400,000 colleagues and the big investments we're making at the moment funneled and channeled into delivering on each account and each site. That's all that matters. That means building a global, scalable platform where we align processes, systems, infrastructure, ways of working, because the future for us lies in being scalable. That means no matter whether you're running a function, a segment, a key account, a business unit, or a country, you're getting an extra muscle out of OneISS that gives you two things. It gives you greater efficiency, i.e. a lower cost to serve, which will make you more competitive and profitable. But it also gives you a stronger value proposition in terms of better products, better solutions, better innovation. Why? Because we pool together the entire global muscle around that. Those two things will make you unbeatable going forward. To do that, we need to build on best practice. We need to share concepts. We need to share talents. And we need to share infrastructure. And we have to drive transparency and constantly aim for the right customer-driven outputs. But to truly excel as an enterprise, we need to build on a culture of unity. A culture where collaboration is not just for the short term. A culture with a high organizational heartbeat, where we are combining agility and fast decisions and daily operational performance with the longer term perspective around investing and putting our efforts in to the long-term future of the firm. In order to do that, we need transparency, we need alignment, we need accountability, and we need trust. That word, trust, which we talk a lot about at ISS. It requires a culture where people trust that they can speak up. They trust that they can raise issues. And it requires an organizational learn-it-all mindset, a mindset where we are constantly challenging ourselves to innovate and to learn. To turn our people and our culture into a competitive advantage in the battlefield, then we also need to make a significant competency shift towards future needs. And one of those needs is technology. And as you know, very close to my heart, we need to drive a culture of diversity and inclusion so we can unleash the potential of our phenomenal global talent pool. This is around being a company where everyone feels a true sense of belonging. A true sense of belonging. No matter what your background is, you have a sense of belonging when you're part of ISS. All of this points to the importance of leadership, and it points to the importance of being able to lead from the front. That's our challenge together. But to truly leverage the power of the people of ISS and our culture, we need to be able to digitalize the way we work and how we collaborate. Tech needs to be a force multiplier for our people, a force multiplier that shapes the future of our industry and takes us to that position of being a technology leader. Therefore, it couldn't fit better that Marcus joins today. I think that's very symbolic, and I'm looking forward to hearing him here at the GLC. Our digital journey will be driven on a relentless focus on customer outcomes. All of our investments, all of our efforts will be going into real, tangible outcomes in the end. Because otherwise, why are we doing it? But all of our aspirations, whether it's digital innovation or whether it's new products, do not matter if we do not execute well. Great companies have a great purpose and a great strategy, but they are also phenomenal at executing that. They know how to do that, and they do that in a precise and structured manner on an ongoing basis. We are in the midst of a turnaround, and we need to get the next essential steps right. That is both when it comes to finalizing and anchoring our current transformations, but it's also when it comes to delivering the profitable growth that will allow us to invest significantly in the future of the company. We're not in the clear yet. We have burning platforms that still needs to be fixed, but we're also seeing a gradual improvement and stabilization, which gives me cause for optimism. But please, it's about staying focused on the execution. I would love to be here in a year and saying, oh my God, the turnaround is almost done. Execution is about delivering on our strategy, on our operating model priorities, and it's about delivering on our financial targets as well. When we deliver on that execution, and I have no doubt we will, we are in a significantly different place. But it requires that we continue to build on the emerging momentum we have seen over the last couple of months, and I know you will help me do that. But where will that bring us? What is the ISS in 5 years that we look at? When I look at that, I expect that we truly build OneISS, a company where we can harvest the full benefits of a global alignment and the full benefits of collaboration. A company that can be more efficient, more innovative, more consistent, more agile, because we made the necessary long-term investments, we made the painful decisions, we created the alignment, and we've built it together. And a company that has a big technology muscle and can therefore lead digital innovation in the industry, but at the same time works agile constantly for the greater good of our customers. And you will not be surprised to hear me say this, a company with a very strong organizational heartbeat of energy, passion, commitment, optimism, and also a burning ambition. A company that truly thinks customers first with a relentless focus on becoming better and investing for the future in a sustainable way. That's a future where we are known and respected, not just as a services company, but as the global leader on the workplace. But leading a transformation starts with ourselves. Are we united and committed to lead as one? I think we need to take inspiration from our placemakers and look at them as a guiding star. They have shown what makes us unique, united with a purpose, motivated and dedicated. Let's give them the leadership that they deserve. Let's be courageous. Let's be ambitious. Let's move forward as one, and let's get started.